The stadium was silent, thousands of eyes glued to the young black girl standing in the center of the field. Moments earlier, those same voices had laughed, mocked, and whispered cruel things about her hair, her skin, her accent. But now, their jaws were clenched, their eyes wide, because the girl they thought didn't belong was about to show them a moment they would never forget. The morning air buzzed with excitement as the small town prepared for the annual National Schools opening ceremony. Banners swayed in the wind, children carried colorful flags, and the marching band warmed up in the background. For most students, this day was a celebration, a time to shine, to show school pride, to be part of something bigger. For Amara Johnson, it was a battlefield. Amara had moved to the town just 3 weeks earlier. Her father's work transfer had uprooted her from her comfortable life in Atlanta, Georgia, to a mostly white, rural community that didn't know how to embrace difference. From the moment she stepped into her new school, she had felt the weight of stares, eyes that scanned her hair like it was a puzzle, voices that whispered in tones meant to be overheard. "Do you think she even knows the words to the pledge?" one boy had murmured. "She talks funny," a girl giggled, mimicking Amara's southern drawl. It wasn't just words, it was the way they stepped around her in the cafeteria, the way no one wanted to sit beside her on the bus, the way teachers hesitated to call on her in class. But today felt heavier than all of that. Today, she had been assigned a role in the opening ceremony, carrying her school's banner during the parade. When she walked into the assembly area that morning, holding the tall banner pole, the laughter started before she even reached her spot. "Seriously? She's representing our school." Guess they ran out of real options. The ringleader was Kayla Price, the most popular girl in school. Her perfectly straight blonde hair shimmered in the sunlight, and she had that air of authority that made other kids follow her lead. She walked past Amara, pretending to trip, and said loudly, "Careful, wouldn't want to drop it before the ceremony even starts." The group around her erupted in laughter. Amara's grip tightened on the pole. She wanted to disappear. But the parade was about to begin, and she had no choice but to march out in front of hundreds, maybe thousands, of spectators. As the marching band started, Amara walked with careful steps. Every voice, every whisper, every snicker from the sidelines felt like a pinprick in her skin. She kept her head down, but when she looked up toward the main stage, she saw her father in the crowd. He was standing tall, smiling, with his hand over his heart. Something in his eyes said, "You belong here. You're meant to be seen." But at that moment, she didn't feel it. Not yet. The first part of the ceremony was routine. Introductions, flag raising, school presentations. Amara stood at the side of the stage, banner resting against her shoulder. Her stomach twisted every time she caught Kayla and her friends pointing and smirking in her direction. Then came the surprise announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer's voice boomed, "this year, each school will present a short performance showcasing their chosen students' talent." Amara's heart skipped. This wasn't in the plan. She whispered to her teacher, "What talent?" The teacher smiled nervously. "Amara. I signed you up. I heard you sing at the audition for choir last week. You were incredible." Her throat went dry. "Singing? Here? Now? In front of everyone?" Before she could protest, she was being guided to the center of the field. The microphone was placed in her hand. All around her, people were murmuring, some surprised, some skeptical. Kayla's voice cut through the air, "This should be good." Laughter followed. Amara closed her eyes. She thought of her grandmother's voice back home, telling her, "When the world doesn't see you, make them hear you." The music began, soft piano chords filling the stadium. Amara opened her mouth, and her voice rose, clear and rich, carrying across the field. At first, there was silence, then the kind of silence that meant people were truly listening. She sang about belonging, about pride, about the journey of standing tall even when others tried to push you down. Her voice didn't shake, it soared. It wrapped around the audience and held them still. When the final note echoed into the sky, there was a moment of breathless stillness. Then, applause. Not polite clapping. Roaring, standing, cheering applause. Even some of the teachers had tears in their eyes. Amara looked toward the crowd and saw her father, tears streaming down his face, clapping harder than anyone. Kayla and her friends stood frozen. No laughter. No smirks. Just wide eyes. For the first time, Amara saw something in them she had never seen before: respect. Or maybe awe. The announcer returned to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just witnessed the voice of the year. In that moment, Amara felt it, the belonging, the pride, the power of being exactly who she was. And she knew, deep down, they would never forget this day.